Welcome back. Here's our next little video out here at our first day at the lean-to. Please excuse the smoke. I just put some wood on the fire and everything's soaking wet out here. It's cold. The temperatures are starting to drop, which they're supposed to. It's going to get down to 6 degrees tonight. This video is to introduce you to a little project I did. And what it is I learned by watching somebody else's video a little trick on making a homemade Dutch oven. I watched his video and I was so impressed with what he did with such basic items to make a functional Dutch oven that I wanted to make one. Dutch ovens are heavy. I've used Dutch ovens for years, and you take a 8-quart Dutch oven and try to pack that thing in with you somewhere. It's not fun. They're so heavy. They're terribly heavy. So he came up with an alternative, and that fellow YouTuber is Really Big Monkey 1. I'll put it on the screen so that you can see his username so that you can find him on YouTube. And you should watch his Dutch oven video. You should watch all his videos. They're great. His name's Dave. He's David. He's pretty smart individual. He's really into the outdoors. I just love it. So I want to put a shout out to him that thank you very much, David, for your video on the Dutch oven, for giving me the inspiration to go and make one myself. So what I'm going to do in this short video is that I'm going to show you the Dutch oven that I made. And then you should check his video out and see how he made his. Now he made his, it's very unique, and he's a welder, and his Dutch oven involved a little bit of welding. And the design is, to me, flawless. However, I'm not a welder. I don't own a welder. So I had to come up, I wanted his Dutch oven, but could I do it without welding? So I made one, and I'm going to try it out. So I'm going to show you what I made, and then I'm going to get it set up, and I'm going to try to bake something in it. I'm going to try to, I brought a couple of different things I could try. It's either going to be blueberry muffins or something of that order. So we will bake with it, one way or the other. So here it is. Now I'm going to turn the camera, and hopefully you'll be able to see it well. What I have here is I've got this, actually it's a pie cooler. For when you're baking pies, you set it on your counter, you set a pie on top of it, but it's made out of stainless steel, and it's very durable. So that is going to be the base for my Dutch oven over the fire. This is the Dutch oven. Now, right now I just have 2 little bungee cords holding it all together. Now I'm going to take it apart, and I'll show you piece by piece. I pull the bungees off. And it's 2 halves. Now the top half. On David's, he welded a stainless steel band all the way around the top to hold the top coals, because you want to surround this thing with heat. So you need something to hold fire in the top, to hold the coals in. So he welded a band all the way across. And again, I'm not a welder. So what I did was, first of all, it's made out of 2 bowls, stainless steel bowls. You can pick these up at a yard sale. You can pick them up at a thrift store. I was fortunate because Rory, being the sweetheart she was, when I told her I wanted to make one of these, that this was a project I wanted to do, she said, Sty, you know what? I happen to have 2 bowls of the exact same size, and I don't use them. She said, you want them? I said, well, I'll take them. So I got mine for free. Well, I had this stainless steel cake pan, 8-inch. This is an 8-inch bowl. This is an 8-inch stainless steel cake pan. I drilled a hole through the center of both of them, and I put an eye bolt through it, as you can see, with a lock washer on both ends. And that eye bolt, you'll see the purpose in that shortly. Okay, that's the top. No welding. I didn't weld. Now I can load this up with coals, and all that heat's going to push down through the top. Now your center bowl, that's the one that's going to sit on the base of the fire. You need to raise whatever you're baking in up off the bottom. You want the air to radiate around what you're baking. You don't want any direct heat right on what you're baking. So, again, David had made a band that sat in the center that he could set his pan on. Worked excellent. Well, I didn't have a way to make that band. But what I did have was I had an old scrap propane gas stove. I took a burner off of that stove and I cut the ends off. So I got this about a 6-inch round piece of steel that happens to sit in the bottom of this bowl just perfectly, and it raises up about 1.5 inches from the bottom. So that's my base. Then what I did was, because I got to be able to put the lid on and off of this, I made a handle out of steel. It was a piece of strap steel. It's got a curved hook at one end. That hooks right into that eye bolt, and I can set the lid on and off of this quite easily. Okay? Now something to bake in. What I had wouldn't fit in there. Again, Rory, we stopped at a thrift store, found this pot. It had a handle on it. It's a nice stainless steel pot. Just the right size. Just the right size. Fits in here perfect. It'll be perfect for baking in. Oh, and this was expensive. It was 50 cents at the thrift store. Another thing I had was I had this stainless steel... Oops. Boy, that's noisy. I had this stainless steel grease cup. It's considered a grease cup. You can buy them at Walmart. They're about $4.50, $5. And they're stainless steel. I curved the handle so it's easy to handle. If I want to make one single muffin, or if I want to do a bannock kind of biscuit, a baking powder biscuit inside this little cup, I can. And that little cup also fits in here just perfect to bake in. Okay? So I've got 2 things that I can use for baking in that nest together. Now, you want to be able to hold this together. And I'm going to give this a try, but I'm going to probably go with a heavier clip. But I'm going to try it with these. These are office clips, spring clips, metal spring clips. Now, they fit on here so nicely. And if I throw 4 of these on, I hope you can see this. I've got 6 with me in case I have one fail on me. But once I throw 4 of those on there, that thing's solid as can be. Nice thing about it then is if I want to take this off the fire, I can hook onto it, I can pick it up, I can set it off to the side, I can do whatever I want with it, I can move this thing around all in one piece. I don't have to worry after I get it set up and going that the top is going to slide off the bottom. So, there it is. I hope you saw that well. That's my homemade Dutch oven. And the only thing left to do, and I've got a nice fire started here. I've got plenty of wood supply behind me. Now, David, he pre-cut all of his wood for one baking in his, and I liked how he did that. I didn't have that opportunity today to be able to get that done. So I'm going to use the wood that I have. I have small fuel wood, a lot of kindling, quite a bit. I actually put up enough probably for about 4 or 5 camping trips out here. So I'm going to use that wood and try to bake in this. Now, here's the real challenge. The real challenge to this is the fact that right now it's about 30 degrees outside. Temperature's falling. It's supposed to get down to 6 degrees. By the time I'm set up and ready to bake, I bet you it's going to be close to 20 degrees out here. I need to maintain this thing at about 400 degrees. So I'm going to have to actually stay put and tend this while it's baking. Because of the outside temperature, it's cool enough that I have to make sure that this thing keeps the heat. So I'll be sitting here babysitting this thing while I try to bake that muffin or whatever I decide to put in there here in just another 15-20 minutes. I'll probably get started on this. And it's my maiden voyage, folks, so I'm glad you're coming along with me. Sink or swim, we're going to bake ourselves something, eh? Okay, and again, thank you, David. Thank you. Your channel, Really Big Monkey 1, is awesome. Love it. And all of us folks from Camp Wilderness Thriving Fundamentals ask you to stick with us, watch the next video, and let's share a muffin or something together. Okay, you all have a nice time, because if I say nice day, my day is not through. It's only 3 o'clock. I've got another 2 hours of daylight. So just enough time to make myself that muffin or biscuits for my dinner tonight. So I'll see you in the next video. Hang tight, folks.